Hello everybody, my name is Carlos and this is Texas Longhouse Mead. Today, I'm going to start off with a very basic thing. And this is mainly for the people who are new to making mead. Mainly because a lot of the videos I've watched and a lot of Facebook groups and whatnot that I've seen, some of the information kind of gets lost, and people who are new to making mead just don't know where to begin. So you come in and start asking a lot of questions, and a lot of times you'll have group one who's like, oh, do it this way, and you have group two who's like, oh no, do it this way. Group three's, oh no, you got to do it this way. I've tried a bunch of different ways. I've done what group one said, what group two said, what group three said, and it's essentially you get to the same end product, which is trying to make mead. There's some things that you need to learn right off the bat, so that way you can give the information and you have the right information to begin with. Well, this video is used to get those people who are new to making mead a starting place. So what we're going to go over today is where to start, and that is your equipment, because without your equipment, you're not making mead. So out here I have everything that I use, and it's the most basic equipment that you can get for making mead. Now you can get into further specialty stuff, but that's later on down the road, which we'll get into in another video. But that's once you get into the basics of making mead. All right. So what we're going to start off with is, of course, you need something to make your mead in. So I have a 2-gallon plastic container here that I have something going right now. So I'm not going to open it up right now. This is my own version of Viking blood I'm making. I got hibiscus, some tart cherries, and Desert Creek honey that's going really good. Right now I'm a month and a half into it, so hopefully it turns out well. Anyways, for people who are new to making mead, a lot of times this is what you'll start off with. This is 1-gallon glass carboy. I've seen some people use 1-gallon jugs or whatever, but with the amount of pressure that the mead can make, you can actually split that. Of course, you can have a stopper on it, but preferably glass is the way to go for something like this. Food grade containers like that, they take a lot of pressure. 1-gallon water jugs will start bulging out and stuff like that. You can actually lose your seal and whatnot on it. I use a 3-gallon glass carboy for some of my bigger ones, batches that I know that I like, that I want to make a good amount of. Then other people will use like 5-6 gallons buckets, and there's also bigger ones out there that are 15 gallons, I want to say. But I like to make mine, I wouldn't say in small batches. Like the biggest one I make is 3 gallons at a time. And those are for the ones I know, hey, I want this much mead. From there, the most important thing before you make mead is you're gonna want to get your equipment clean. I use Star Sand. It's real good, gets everything clean. I've yet to have a problem, knock on wood. But you want to sanitize your equipment before you use it. You want to sanitize everything. I'll even put some in a little spray bottle. And what I'll do is I'll spray down the countertop before I start putting everything together, because you're gonna lay your equipment out. So you want a clean surface too, because why clean something and put it onto something that's dirty? So I'll put some of the Star Sand water into a little spray bottle. I'll spray the counter down, let it sit for a minute, and then start making my mead. So again, Star Sand, there's other cleaners out there, powdered, stuff like that you gotta mix. I like this one. It's quick, simple. You just pour it in, pour some hot water, and you're good to go. All right. From there, of course, you got your vessels. The next thing you're going to want to get after your Star Sand sanitized and your vessels is a hydrometer and a graduated cylinder. Some people will use a wine thief, which is fine. I don't have one. This is just the kit that I got off of Amazon. Well, not Amazon. The first kit I got off Amazon came with it. This one I got from my local homebrew store after I broke my first hydrometer. But this hydrometer, it's got 3 different readings on it. We'll go in another video on how to read your hydrometer. But for now, this is the basic equipment you're gonna need, all right? And then from there, of course, you're gonna want a stopper. I use an S-turn stop or gooseneck stopper, or not stopper, airlock, sorry. It's S-turn airlock. Basically, you just fill it up with water until it says the max line. And then once you put everything together, you got your bung with the hole in it. Put your stopper in, put it in, and you just set it off to the side and let it do its magic. From there, of course, in order to get your reading, you got to have something. Like I said, some people will use a wine thief. I don't use a wine thief. I use a turkey baster. It works perfect. Put it in, pull your sample out, fill it up your graduated cylinder, take your reading. And like I said, we'll go over this in another video. Right now, we're just getting the basic equipment you need to get. Of course, bottle brush. You want to clean everything before and after you use it, all right, with your star side. And then once you're ready to get into secondary, or as Brian from City Steading Brews, shout out to Brian and Derica, you go into secondary or conditioning, depending on what stage your meat is in. And we'll get into that a little bit later. But you'll want to use an auto siphon, so that way you're not inducing a lot of oxygen or any oxygen into your meat, as oxygen can actually ruin your meat. It takes a lot of effort to ruin a meat, but why risk something that's, one, costs a lot of money? I won't say a lot of money, but money's not cheap. Let's face it. So essentially, yeah, it can cost a lot of money to make, depending on where you're at. Anyways, you want to get an auto siphon, which two pieces together. This is the siphon, this is your racking cane. Put it together, pump it a couple times, you connect it to your hose, pump it a couple times and transfer it from one container to another. Which leads me back to another thing. If you get containers, you can, I would suggest buying two, just because when you're racking from one to another, you want to have a good solid container that you can put into it. Some people will use like another 1 gallon jug or something like that, just for temporary. And then they'll wash their carboy out, dry it out, and rack it back into it. That's perfectly fine too. I prefer just to go from one carboy to another, cap it, put it off to the side. That way I can spend whatever time I need cleaning. Of course, like I said, you need your bungs. I have one that has no hole, and then one that has a hole. I use the one without the hole to put into my carboys, shake them up, and then mix all my ingredients together. Like I said, that's a whole nother video, which we'll get into putting everything together. For now, this is everything. Oh, you're also gonna want something. You can use a sink. A lot of people use a sink. People have like a specific tub. This is my tub back here. Just fill it up with water, put the amount of star sand I need in there, mix it up, put everything in here, and lay it out. All right, you'll always want to sanitize everything before and after you use it, because again, you don't want to introduce any bacteria or anything like that into your meat that can either spoil your meat or just outright ruin your meat, and you're gonna have to throw it out anyways. So for now, thank you for coming to Texas Longhouse Mead. Make sure you hit the subscribe and bell. There'll be more videos to come, and thank you for watching.